You've all heard of Paul Revere's Midnight Ride, but have you ever heard of Sybil Ludington? You might be surprised on what happened that night during the Revolutionary War.
The Revolutionary War began in 1775 because of the growing tensions between the residents of Great Britain's 13 colonies and the colonial government. It was during this time that Sybil risked her life for the future of our nation. Life was difficult for the colonists. A lot were broke or imprisoned for being taxed too much. On top of that, colonists were forced to harbor British troops, so it was hard for Sybil's family to keep information safe. Sybil Ludington was born on April 5, 1761. She was the eldest of Henry Ludington and Abigail Ludington's 12 children. Sybil's parents were actually cousins before they were married. Sybil's father, Henry Ludington, was a colonel for the Patriot Army. During the American Revolution, Danbury was an important military supply depot for the colonial army, so it was a horrible tragedy when the British Army attacked it.
A Patriot spy came to Sybil's house to inform Henry Ludington about the British attacking Danbury. The spy needed to go and get Patriot troops to go and fight in Danbury, but he did not know the area, so Henry sent Sybil, who was only 16 at that time.
Sybil rode from her house past Danbury and Lake Caramel, but stopping in the town of Caramel to tell soldiers of the urgent news.
Afterwards, she rode to Mahopac and Mahopac Falls, once again informing the soldiers.
A Skinner is a bandit who are outlaws with no allegiance in either side in the war. Sybil was attacked by several Skinners and British loyalists during her ride. She nearly lost her life multiple times warding them off.
Then, riding past Mahopac, she stopped at Kent Cliffs, Reading Corners, Stormville, and finally Peckville, informing soldiers. After her trip to Peckville, she returned home.
She awoke approximately 400 Patriot troops to go fight in the British soldiers in Danbury. Even though the Patriot troops were too late to stop the British taking over, they fought at Ridgefield Bridge. But if she didn't warn anyone, there would have been more death. Sybil went on to live a normal life that any woman could at the time. She sadly passed away on February 26, 1839.
There have been many famous books about Sybil Ludington's Midnight Ride. The first book about her is written by Martha Lamb in 1880, who was told the story by Sybil's descendants. Lamb's book was actually the first thing ever praising Sybil Ludington.
Many years later, Fredericksburg was renamed Ludingtonville in Sybil Ludington's honor. There is a very famous poem about Paul Revere by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, but someone, anonymous, edited the poem to praise Sybil Ludington. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of a lovely feminine Paul Revere, who rode an equally famous ride through a different part of the countryside. In April 1777, a smoky glow in the eastern heaven, a fiery herald of war and slaughter, came to the eyes of the colonel's daughter. "Danbury's burning," she cried aloud.